All right, background on the beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Xül Beer Company, and they are out of Knoxville, Tennessee, and this is a Blood-Soaked Symphony. So this is a gluten-free sour ale that is conditioned on blood orange, strawberry, and vanilla. It comes in at 6% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is approximately 2 months old. And I'll give a huge thanks and shout out to a very good friend of mine and a fellow BeerTuber, Anderson, over at Ginger Yeti Road Beers. So absolutely huge thanks to him for this beer. In the description box, I'll post a link to his channel. And Anderson's an awesome dude, and he has been, I think, officially reviewing beers for about 1.5 years now, but he started out on TK's channel, so A Beer a Day with TK. They're good friends. He started out like you're doing guest reviews with TK, and now he has his own channel, and it's a different channel because not only does he review beer, but he is a tour merchandiser for some bands. So you'll see a lot of reviews from him when he's on the road, in the hotel, backstage. It's an awesome channel, and Anderson's an awesome dude. And recently, within the past week or so, I hung out with him and his girlfriend. My dad and I took a quick day trip down to Mentor, Ohio. My dad had to pick something up, so I tagged along, and we met up at the Brew Kettle in Mentor, Ohio. We had some dinner, shared some drinks, and when we left, he gave me 3 beers. This was one of the 3. I gave him nothing because I am a terrible person. Now, I didn't even think about it, but I did give him a couple bottles of Little Kings that he said he was going to review. But anyway, he gave me 2 beers that are collaborations with the band Whitechapel. They're a deathcore band, and they're also from Knoxville, Tennessee. So I love when breweries do collaborations with other local companies. So in this situation, Xül and Whitechapel, both from Knoxville, so they did a collab beer, and this is one of them. He gave me the other collab beer, which I think is with Old Irving Brewing Company. It's like a red ale. I'll review that probably within the next month or so. And he also gave me a really old Guza that I'll have to get to at some point, maybe share that. It's a huge, I think it's a 750 milliliter bottle. But anyway, thank you very much, Anderson. This is pretty cool. And I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you and say, you know, I love Whitechapel and I love deathcore, because I don't. But I know of the band, and I know a lot of you out there do. And, you know, occasionally Anderson will go on a tour with them and whatnot. So the fact that he got his hands on this, I know he's stoked about it, and I'm pretty stoked as well. I know he actually loved this beer, so I want to see what I think about it. Gluten-free sour ale. A lot of breweries doing that a little bit more often as shit goes everywhere. That's how we roll here on the Beer Patrol. Shit goes everywhere. Oh, that smells gnarly. So blood orange, strawberry, and vanilla. Interesting. Let's give it a pour here. So I don't think it's going to be like that super thick, gloopy type of like heavily fruited sour. I think it's going to be like a little bit lighter in body. I did keep this upside down in my fridge just to make sure. Wow, the carbonation on this is absolutely gnarly. It's almost like a soda pop. And I mean, let's be honest here. This label art is absolutely sick. Okay? Absolutely sick. Right here. Look, I mean, that is just fantastic. I hope this is delicious, so it goes behind me on the pretentious wall of bottles and cans. I guess we'll see. Anyway, as you can see, that poured with no head. It fizzed away instantly. That looks like grape juice to me. That's what that looks like Welch's grape juice. Maybe not as dark, but not far off. Has like this deep magenta, deep purple color. Again, there is 0 head. I still see the carbonation popping up, kind of again like a soda pop once the head fizzes away, and you can see the carbonation. Thick, murky. You really can't see through it. Hold it a little bit closer so you guys get a better view of the beer itself. But yeah, I mean, it is definitely thick, murky, turbid, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, let's get a nose. It smells sweet. It smells like berries and cream. Like the strawberries coming through more so, I think, in my opinion, than the blood orange, but the vanilla for sure. So what was the berries and cream one, that Evil Twin one, the even more daily servings I did with Evil Twin and Trillium collaboration? That's what this smells like, but if you just replace the mixed berries with straight on strawberries. So we'll just say strawberries and cream, like a strawberries and cream lifesaver, or cream saver. That's all I'm getting. Maybe a slight like orangey kind of citrus thing, but it's pretty much just sweet strawberries and vanilla. It does smell like it's going to have a nice tartness. Not much more. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Thanks again, Anderson. That is delicious. What does that taste like? Honestly, it tastes like the strawberry cream saver. That's what it tastes like. I was trying to picture in my head what kind of flavor profile it is, and that's a strawberry cream saver. You know what it's like, actually? It's like you took a strawberry cream saver and an orange cream saver, combined them, threw them into a 6% fruited sour, and that's what you have here. Body's like lower side of full, so it's big. You know, it's way bigger than you anticipate for 6%, but these heavily fruited sours usually have a bigger body, but it's not thick and gloopy and like over the top like a lot of the smoothie slash slushy sours are. The mouthfeel is another indication it's not a super heavy sour because it's very carbonated. This is not quite like a soda pop or like a seltzer, but it's not too far off. This is higher side of moderate carbonation into low full carbonation. Very effervescent, very spritzy. It doesn't have quite the carbonic acid that like a seltzer would have, but man, it's really carbonated on the palate. It is also quite smooth on the second half. Like if you ever, it depends on how carbonated it is. It still has some smoothness to it on the finish. It's not like that. Again, you take a drink of a seltzer or a soda pop, how it just kind of can sting going down. This does not sting going down, but up front you can kind of figure out that, yeah, this has a lot of carbonation. Quite refreshing too. Now, the taste. I'm not going to sit here and BS you and tell you there's fucking 73 different flavors going on, because there's not. Front to back, orange cream saver, strawberry cream saver combined. There's an underlying like doughy kind of malty character, just very slight. But that's the whole palate. That's what it is. Strawberry cream saver meets orange cream saver in beer form. It is pretty sweet. It definitely has a nice sweetness to it. This is tart, not sour. So the one thing I think stopping me personally from going absolutely bonkers over this one is that it doesn't have the firm sourness that I'm looking for, but it does have a firm tartness. So there still is some balance here, but it leans a little bit sweeter. This is a one and done for me as far as a can goes. Like I couldn't session this. I'm going to be able to drink the rest of this because it's not sickly sweet like a lot of them. But I think when I get down to the last 3 or 4 ounces, I'll start saying, yeah, that's enough for that. I don't need any more of that. But it's really well done. And honestly, it's surprisingly quite clean too, because after like 3 seconds, like right now I just took that sip, a little bit of a lingering kind of like more strawberry cream savor, but then it just fades into nothingness, which is fine. So the knocks on this one for me personally, a little bit more, I want a sourness as opposed to a tartness. And I do think some more complexity of this one would be nice. But again, it's blood orange and strawberries, vanilla. I'm tasting everything. I think it's a little bit more strawberry and vanilla heavy than it is blood orange, despite the fact that blood orange is listed first on the can. But this reminds me of, this is like an indulgent sour where it's kind of like, again, soda pop-esque in that regard, where it's like, I know there's a lot of calories in here. It's sweeter. It's almost like, if you have a sweet tooth, this would be like a dessert that kind of satiates you, despite the fact it's 6% beer. Oh yeah, 6%, you really can't tell. Yeah, I'm gonna drink the rest of that and really enjoy it. So thank you, Anderson, for this one. Not only because it's an awesome collab, but it's a damn tasty beer. It's not anything that, again, is blowing my mind from the aspect, like I've had fruited sours and heavily fruited sours like this that are just as good in a different way. But this is really good. I'm going to give it a high score because I take everything into consideration. The taste of the beer, the fact that while it lacks complexity, it's still quite delicious. And you throw in the can art, the fact that it's a collab, Anderson hooked me up. Everything is just la-di freaking da here. So A Bloodsoaked Symphony, a collaboration between Xül and Whitechapel. I'm going to give this a, we'll go low 4.5, we'll go 4.4. This is really, really nice stuff. And I would say that if you can get your hands on this, I don't know if they probably still don't have it at the brewery one out, which we'll talk about momentarily, but I would say definitely check this one out, no questions asked. So price point availability. I don't know with this one outside of, they were selling them, I think they said, at certain Whitechapel concerts in and around the Tennessee area. So Anderson, if you could speak more to that in the comment section, that'd be awesome, dude. I'd appreciate it. If not, totally get it. And I think they said this was available at the different locations that Xül has. I think, does Xül have more than one? I don't know. Definitely at the brewery, but I don't know if this made it into bottle shops or anything. It's probably a little bit more exclusive. And then the price point on this one, I do not know whatsoever. So Anderson, I don't know what you paid for this one or if you got it for free skis. I think I would assume this is in that $20 to $24 a 4-pack realm. It's a 6% heavily fruited sour. Usually they're not under $20 a 4-pack. So if anybody out there, Jonah, 62 Beer Reviews, I don't know if you saw this one or know anything about it. Anybody out there in and around Tennessee, if you got your hands on this one, if you've had this one before, post a comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. Like I said, a really fun sour beer, a really cool collaboration, and I'm really just thankful that Anderson hooked me up with this one. Again, I have that other red ale collaboration between Whitechapel and Old Irving Brewing Company, and I'm going to review that one probably in the next couple weeks. I said in the next, but probably the next 2 or 3 weeks, get to that one, and I can't wait to see how that one differs from this in terms of quality and whatnot. That's just a red ale, I believe he said. So I'm curious to see how that one is. This one I kind of went into knowing that I've had a bunch of beers from Xül before, and that I really dig their stuff. So at the end of the day, I knew the quality would be here. I just didn't know how the flavors were going to mesh together, and they mesh together great, honestly. It's a really nice balance. I just wish there was a little bit more blood orange, a little bit more complexity, and a touch more tart / sour character. And I would probably give this like a 4.75, honestly. But 4.4 out of 5 is a damn good score that lands it in like the excellent range for me. So yeah, I'm gonna shut this one down. Thanks to Anderson for the beer. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. The other thing I want to mention, and I'm starting to feel a little bit. This doesn't really have a noticeable acidity on the palate, but right now I might get a little bit heartburn. Like I'm feeling a little bit in my chest, like a little bit of heartburn starting to kick. So yeah, I don't love that, but at the same time, I've already taken quite a few sips and it's not really getting any worse. It's just kind of sitting there, kind of just in the chest, just very slightly. So I won't dock at any points for that, but it might build up by the end of the glass. We'll see. Anyway, appreciate it. And to all of the Whitechapel fans, I hope you got your hands on this at some point or the other collaboration. I love when breweries collaborate with bands and musicians in general because it's really awesome, especially if you like the band or musician, you can support both. Like you're a huge fan of Xül and Whitechapel. It's like, yeah, man, this is perfect. It's the best of both worlds. Anyway, till the next one. Cheers.